her, but very humbly said that nobody has made documentary video up till now. So I thought we will take a little bit of effort of making one documentary video on her if she permits. But now this video is collection of photographs that we had, and just to show the glimpse of it. More is coming maybe during her presentation. Yeah. That was a very, very short glimpse. More to know as we come across this program, as we hear our madam, and as we interact with her. To move forward, may I request our respected Dean Sir, Professor M. Ravi Shankar, who is also the chairman of Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth Knowledge Tree Organizing Committee, to come over the dais. And the founder of this program, the creator of this program, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, Honorable Vice Chancellor, to come over the dais. I gladly request our chairman of this committee, Professor M. Ravi Shankar, to say a few words before we start.
Thank you, Dr. Pathanandi. It's indeed a pleasure to have Dr. Nalini with us. My association with her is for almost about 45 years. She was my, say, 50 years, why 45? and she was about 3 years senior to me in the college. She was my mentor, she was my teacher, and then we were colleagues for a long time. And so that is one thing that I learned and I appreciate from her is that the amount of concern that she has for the children when she treats, the amount of empathy that she has for the people, and she aptly took up that Haemophilia Society and made things available for people who suffer from hemophilia. At that time, the drugs were not available in India. She has to import it from outside, and then she used to supply to them for the people who need free of cost. So those were the things that taught me something about what a doctor should do, or what kind of a attitude a person should have. So I am quite happy that she is here to address all our students, especially the first years who are going through the foundation course now, to talk about what a doctor should be. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. May I request the guest of today's program, Professor Nalini, to come over the dais. Yes, please. You can come this side also. This way. Please, please. May I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to welcome the guest of our day, guest of the day for today, Professor Nalini, and may I request Dr. R. Kannan, who is the Joint Secretary of the committee, to and the bouquet. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the other members of the Haemophilia Society who has accompanied Madam. Thank you very much, Chitra Madam especially, and other members who has accompanied Madam. They were actively involved in this Haemophilia Society, working with Madam and helping a lot of people of this silent disease. Rare diseases and disorders often go unrecognized precisely because of their rarity and resulting in delay in the diagnosis. We know that very well. It's hard to explain to someone who has no clue. It is daily struggle, being in pain, or feeling sick on the inside while one looks fine on the outside. So never judge what we don't understand. Please share this message if you or someone you know have this invisible illness like hemophilia or other bleeding disorders. Because 75% of people in the worldwide of any bleeding disorders receive inadequate or no treatment. That is a recent statistic says. But people live, and they live their lives full, healthy, and successful, maybe even more successful than a normal people. There are a few examples. A famous cyclist who is a gold medalist in Commonwealth, Alex Dossett, says, "Hemophilia is a catalyst to my success." And he lived in the pinnacle of that sport. And it is also called as a royal disease because the Queen Victoria of Britain, suppose it's stated that she was having the disease and she passed on the disease to the next generation also. But they live successful life because of some personalities in the world. And we are fortunate enough to have one of them, living legend, with us here today. That is none other than Professor P. Nalini, who has contributed immensely her life to this society. So it's a customary, madam, before you start speaking, we introduce yourself, your short introduction. You be seated, madam, you be seated. Dr. P. Nalini is committed health professional, ever ready to help patient, and her dedication to seek children was incomparable. She has been a kind, compassionate physician, a popular and excellent teacher and researcher of great repute. She took special interest in patients suffering from hemophilia, and they look up to her as their savior. She is the only person working for the welfare of the person with hemophilia. Academics, she worked in various positions from 1970 onward in JIPMER, starting from senior resident, assistant professor, till professor and director of the Department of Pediatrics, and took voluntary retirement in the year 2003. She also worked for a few years in Puducherry Institute of Medical Sciences. She is a member of many professional bodies and a guest speaker for various CMEs and national and international conferences. She has conducted workshops on pediatrics advanced life support, which is very popular, PALS, and she has been She has served the National PANS convener and resource person for PALS courses. And we have already told that we already know that she is an eminent teacher, and she has more than 100 papers published in national and international journal. Her qualification, she did her MD, DCH and MBBS from JIPMA. She also has got a Bachelor of Science degree and a diploma in French from Puducherry University. She is specially trained in pediatric hematology with special reference to hemophilia, trained on maternal health and child health, neonatology, epidemiology for health management, education for science, health professionals, application for health, pediatric advanced life support, etc., etc. To talk about the award that she has, to talk about the contribution in hemophilia, she has served for 33 years, more than 33 years for the patient who are suffering from hemophilia, and she is the one who take up the responsibility and set up the chapter of hemophilia for India as well as for Puducherry, and she is still being the president of Haemophilia Society of Puducherry since the inception. Actually, it's huge, and she did a lot of program for fundraising, and she herself fundraising for hemophilia, and she herself donate more than ₹1 lakh, I believe, every year, and that is only for the Haemophilia Society. She has been a member of many government association, member of Child Welfare Committee, member of Government Adoption Committee, member of Committee of Welfare and Differently Abled Children, member of an Advisory Board for Social Welfare Development, Puducherry, then resource person of NSS program, resource person of ICDS, member Code Puducherry University, counselor for adolescent children, and n number of membership in national and international bodies. To talk about awards and accolades, she received Lifetime Achievement Award in the year 2019 by Inner Wheel Club of Puducherry, Bharat Jyoti Award from Indian International Friendship Society, New Delhi in 2018, Award for Excellence of Hemophilia Work by Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Trichy in 2018, Outstanding Yoga Shakti Award in 2018 from Yoganjali Natyalaya, Senior Pediatrician from East Coast Pediatrician Association in 2018, World Senior Citizen Day 2016 from Rotary Club of Puducherry Heritage, Pen Queen Award in 2014, Lifetime Achievement Award from Indian Medical Association, Puducherry, for her medical services on 2014, Avayar Award in 2014, Navaratna Award by Haemophilia Federation in 2012, Marutva Seva Mamani Award by Senior Citizen Forum in 2010, Outstanding Woman Award 2009, Karma Yoga Award in 2008, and received the title of Puduvai Shakti by Women's Conference in 2006, and so on and so forth. And popularly she is known as the Mother Teresa of Puducherry. So ladies and gentlemen, here we present Dr. P. Nalini for you for today's knowledge program. Madam, the dais is for you.
Good evening, everybody. I think I'm standing before you a little late because I said it's at 3 o'clock. Of course, you just can't help it. And you people have to generally go back at 4 o'clock, isn't it? Especially the students, you know, I'm standing before you. I didn't think that it's going to be of such a big magnitude. When I asked what is the thing, they said you have to talk to students. So I didn't expect it to be such a big, I'm overawed by the crowd and the staff. Thank you very much. Many of my colleagues are here. I dedicate this whatever I go in to speak, to Dr. Tarun Kumar Datta, who has stood by me in the work of hemophilia. Whatever work of hemophilia I have done, your medicine professor, Dr. Datta, has been with me all through till he was in JIPMA. Even now, if I have anything, I always consult him. So I always thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Parija, for inviting me here for this talk. I know all these people for a long time, but anyway, being a Vice Chancellor of this institute, thank you very much for inviting me here. Now, why did I choose this topic of
Folder.
Will I be able to see here, or how do I see the
Madam, here.
slides? If I stand here, it may. Okay, that's fine. Who am I? This question has been there. Don't think I'm going to talk any philosophy. I'm not going to talk any philosophy. This has always been there. Who am I and what am I doing? This question has been there. Some people may think at the fag end of my life that I am thinking of who am I, this question has come to me for a long time. Can I have continuous slides, because there's going to be a lot of slides. Well, thanks to Dr. Subhash, he had been there for our Silver Jubilee celebration of our Haemophilia Society. There's a little correction. I am not the president of Haemophilia Federation of India. It's a national organization. I'm only the president of the Haemophilia Society. I'm a small bit of that federation, and I am the president of the Haemophilia Society. Next slide, please. During my childhood, I was always a sick child. From day one of my birth, I have been sick. That's why I couldn't play much. I couldn't go to school. So I used to read books. I was a voracious reader from the age of 3 years. I took to reading. I used to read first the local language, then my mother did the homeschooling for me till 7 years. Then I started reading English books. In no time I'll finish books and ask for more books. Then, next slide. Then I joined as a medical student. The photograph I have always been sick. I have always had major health problems, even now. I always have some health problem or the other. I don't reveal it to others, but unless it's a very big thing. The photograph on the left side, as a single person, you can imagine I had just survived a pulmonary embolism 1 month before that photograph. So I always used to think, why God has kept me all the time alive. I could have died at any time in any of those major episodes. But still, I thank God for keeping me alive, and He has kept me for a purpose. That is what I thought. Next slide. Why did I choose hemophilia? This question also comes to me all the time. Probably I had empathy for these patients. It is not sympathy, because when they came to me, I had an empathy for them, probably because of the sufferings as a person I had undergone, and also looking at the sufferings of these patients. Next slide. You see, I realized when we went to their households after some time that hemophilia is not a royal disease, but it was also in the huts and the rural areas of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Next slide, please. And mothers used to come carrying these children, 12-year-old, 13-year-old children who had knee bleeds and bleeds, crying in pain. They used to come alone in the overcrowded buses. Most of the time it was the mothers who came. And they used to look up to us because not many diagnostic facilities were available. Even in JIPMER, we had bare minimum diagnostic facilities, and then we had hardly any treatment facilities for them, except to give whole blood occasionally. That's what we used to do. So I thought I should take up the responsibility of looking after these patients. And then, looking up, I found that there was a Haemophilia Federation in Delhi, and if we start a society, we may be able to get free medicines for them. So that's why we started the society, Dr. T.K. Datta and I. Next slide, please. Yes, this is another of our patients. Next slide. Yes. The father of hemophilia in India is on the left side, Mr. Ashok Verma, came to my room. He did not have one limb. It was dismembered due to hemophilia. He was a hemophilia patient. He was not a doctor. That day lift also was not working. He came up in crutches to my first floor room and said, "Doctor, why don't you start? This is the first time we are having one in a government institution. Please start a center in your hospital." That is how that further motivated me to work for hemophilia patients. Next. Now we have 103 chapters all over India. We have grown now. Earlier there were only 20 chapters. Now we have grown. Next. Then we met the former Chief Minister. This was much later. After I started the society, we went and met the Chief Minister. Nobody knows about hemophilia. Even doctors didn't know. Then we went and met him and told him, we need a center, we need a place to look after these patients. He listened to us. He said, we will do the needful. He was kind to us. Next slide. Then we had the inauguration we had a building built by the Indian Oil Corporation, and we had the inauguration of the society in 2005. Next. Yes, this is our comprehensive healthcare center, which is just behind Dhanvantari Nagar police station. It's on the cement road. It's called a cement road, and it's opposite to Jipmer. So severe patients will be sent to Jipmer, and we look after these patients here. Next. Then we also have to keep in touch with the politicians, because we need something, then we have to go to them. So whoever comes, we had met Dr. Kiran Bedi because we had shortage of factor. Then we met also Mr. Narayan Swamy, who is our present chief minister. See, we go and meet. Can I have some water, please? My throat gets dry when I talk. Next slide, please. The Haemophilia Society was formed. It's with concurrence of Dr. Datta and many other people. I could not have done it alone. Our directors were also helpful to us. The Department of Pathology. We trained the hematology technicians in CMC Vellore, and we started a coagulation lab. Though there was a coagulation lab, we further enhanced its capacity by training a doctor, and also the pathology lab, hematopathology lab was also trained. And then we also managed to we inaugurated the society in Jipmer. We got permission, being a government institution, we got permission to run the society from my room, and we started only with 26 persons of hemophilia at that time. Now, next slide. Then, that was the only center which looks after 100 kilometers radius. So, Puducherry means it's also Villupuram and Kadalur and various other districts, 100 kilometers radius, where patients come to us. They're all the members of the society. Our society is a comprehensive care society that we take care of everything for them. Next slide. Now we have 300 members with various bleeding disorders. We also include all the bleeding disorders, and we have also, most of the people in the society are either hemophiliacs or their parents who are there. Then other than that, we have some doctors, physiotherapists and nurses who help us out. Next. The activities of the society is, first we identify the patients who either come to us on their own or referred by some other doctor, and then we get the free diagnostic facilities are available with the help of Jipmer Hospital. Then we have treatment of emergencies and minor bleeds at the center. We get free factor now, thanks to the World Federation of Haemophilia. Under humanitarian aid, they are giving us any amount of factor which we are using. And then if there are serious cases, even government general hospital, Indira Gandhi Government General Hospital also takes care of these patients. We have factor in Jipmer as well as in Indira Gandhi Government General Hospital. Serious cases are referred there. We do mainly counseling and also physiotherapy for these patients. Next. In Union Territory of Puducherry, we provide free diagnostic facilities. Factor is also provided free of cost, and also treatment of emergency. Surgeries are also done in Jipmer for these patients. In Tamil Nadu medical scheme provides factor as well as treatment for these patients. No other place insurance is covered. The medical insurance of Tamil Nadu covers these patients. Next slide. I have to thank the departments of neurosurgery, ophthalmology, and we have deliveries and menorrhagia patients for von Willebrand and platelet disorders also in the OBG department, and surgeries are done in orthopedic department also. Next. I have a hemophilia team. I cannot do it alone. So I have a team of people around me who help me out to do all these things. Next. We have now, this is the current status of our women's group. We have a women's group because the mothers of hemophilia patients are also under great stress and they need counseling. They also need guidance how to look after their children. So we have a women's group and we also have a lot of children coming to us. Next. Next we have the youth who have all grown with us. It's almost 25, 30 years that they've grown with us and they are all with us. We provide them many facilities. Next. We do the registration. We also do the examination of these patients. Next. We do factor infusion if needed in the chapter itself. Not only I do infusion, we also taught others to do infusion. Self-infusion also have been trained for youth, and also our office manager Chitra also can do infusion if patient comes in emergency. She always calls up and asks how much to give and then gives these patients. All the others, even the women's group, do infusion for these patients. So everybody is trained. Then we also give prophylaxis for children. Children below 12 years are given prophylaxis so that they do not get much bleeds and so that they do not get handicapped. Next. The social problems or the main things for hemophilia, one is a physical disability, repeated bleeds. So they develop joint problems. They also cannot attend school. They cannot go for jobs. Then they have the financial constraint. They always are living with risk. Next. So we do a lot of counseling, especially the youth. You know there is a lot of stress. All of you as students, I know, are facing stress. Our boys also face a lot of stress. So we do counseling. We do counseling in groups. We also do youth-to-youth counseling. Individual, one on the left side is a hemophilia patient. He is counseling the other boy who tried to commit suicide. Suddenly in one thing, he tried to commit suicide. So we do counseling for them. And we keep in touch with all these people by calling them again and again so that we can tell them, please be careful, because they face a lot of problems. So, and they have chronic pain. Pain is a big problem for all of them. So one day or the other, they try to take something small also happens. Then they try to, because jobs are also not easy these days. Even for common people, jobs are not easy. But for them, it's all the more difficult. So they find it difficult. Next. And this, why me alone? Even children ask me, why I alone am getting hemophilia? My brother doesn't have hemophilia. Why I alone? So we have to explain to them. This is that thing which strikes them always. Next. Can they run? Yes. There are marathon runners in hemophilia. In fact, one boy from Kanyakumari runs marathons. If they want, they can do it. Under prophylaxis, they are able to do this now. Next. Can I play cricket? That's what. Yesterday also one boy came injured with I tell them, if you can wear all the things like a cricket player wears, like a helmet and handguard, everything they wear, you can play cricket. Otherwise, it's very difficult because they can get hematomas. Next. Can I play football? Contact games till recently were not allowed, but now contact games are all allowed under prophylaxis. They can play. There are players, football players who are hemophiliacs. There are baseball players who are hemophiliacs. Then the next is the vehicles. Now, bikes give the macho image for all the students and the young adults. The bikes, the heavy bikes which they use, we all drive without helmet, isn't it? How many of you wear helmets? You tell me. All of you sitting here, all of you drive vehicles, how many of us wear helmets? We know that helmet is has to be worn, but we don't wear. Our boys are also the same. I tell them they don't wear helmets. I tell them you have to wear helmets. And then using heavy bikes and kick-starting produces hematoma in the thigh and in the psoas muscle, which causes a lot of handicap. It takes almost 3 months for them to heal. They are not able to walk, and it causes repeated bleeds. But whatever I tell them, they will tell me, how did you come? They will say, we came by bus. Then they would have come by bike. So bikes are the macho image. So they cannot separate themselves from that. But if they exercise adequately, then they will be able to ride these. That's what I tell them, but they don't exercise. Who exercises? How many of these boys exercise? Hardly do. They don't. And helmet is, of course, essential, we all know. Next. Can I dance? Yes. Recently in our function, all our boys danced. None of them had a bleed. So if they do it, if they do something of their own voluntarily, they don't have so much of bleeds. Under prophylaxis, they can definitely do better. Now we have got prophylaxis for children, so they are able to do better. They danced, none of them had, almost for an hour, all of them danced for the music, but nothing happened to them. Next, dating and marriage. This is another problem that they face, because once a person is a carrier or a hemophiliac, then naturally people get worried. But many of them have love marriages. Now marriage of convenience or living together has also come. I say, you can also live together. The stage has come when they can live together. Otherwise, this produces a lot of problems for them. But our boys are all married. Next. You see, this is a marriage of one of our boys. Then carrier. What carrier to choose? We know a hemophiliac person who is in the army. Of course, he is a mild hemophiliac, but he has joined the army. And they know that he is a hemophiliac. So whenever he has a bleed, they can give him an injection. But he is a mild person, not a severe hemophiliac. Severe hemophiliacs cannot, of course, they have to choose their own profession. I say teacher's profession is good. They can otherwise do a computer sitting work. That is much better for them. But our boys are all educated in various things. So they somehow manage, most of them. Next. Yes. We have women, so we have to keep the women also in. I think they have regular meetings. We conduct Women's Day for them. We conduct counseling meetings for them. We do everything for them because they are the main caregivers for these boys. Next. We teach them a simple physio exercises in camps. We teach them because that keeps the muscles strong so they can become better. Next. We have also screening program for blood screening program because they keep getting factor. Of course, now we have got factor which is all this free from all hepatitis B and C. But we also do the inhibitor screening because they can get repeated injection of factor, they can get inhibitors. So we also do inhibitor screening programs for them. We have camps for them for especially dental. Oral bleeds are a big problem, so we have dental camps for them. Next. Yes. Then we have ortho examination and rehabilitation camp. Physiotherapists and orthopedicians come and help us in conducting camps so that we identify people who need who need help. We have a homeopathy clinic, free homeopathy clinic running for them. I am thankful to Dr. Prakash Rao. The reason why I am giving is pain relief is very good with homeo. These patients have chronic pain and they get addicted to various drugs, tramadol and other drugs, because every day they have pain. So we tell them at least to avoid addictions, they can take homeopathy medicine, so it will be better. But none of them, it's popular in some places, but not so popular in our center. Next. Then we also have, take them out for camps. With the other chapters, we combine and take them for camps so that they have an outing during holidays. Next, we take them for swimming camps. Swimming is a very good exercise. Cycling, swimming is a very good exercise to keep the muscle strength adequate. Next, our success and failures of our youth. I am very upset about this. The success of our youth, I can show you. We give them scholarships for studies. Next slide. Yes. This is our treasurer, who was diagnosed with hemophilia only at the age of 55. He knew that he was a hemophiliac. He was getting repeated joint bleeds. He didn't know why. Only at the age of 55. So he is handicapped. But now he is on prophylaxis and doing well. He is about 68 years old. He is doing well. He was supposed to come today, but he couldn't come because of some other work. Next. This is a boy who was with me from the age of 1. Now he is doing medicine in PIMS. He had his birthday yesterday. Next. Now, this boy had bleeds in both the knees, could not walk for 1 year, could not go to school. He has come out of it. Now he is studying in college. He stays in the hostel in Laila. And now he is also in the National Youth Forum. He is one of the National Youth Forum leaders. I expect him to come up further. Next. He has written his successful story. Next. This boy is in software. On the left side, we have got somebody, he is one of our old hemophiliacs. He is working in in the court in the Divanam. Next. This is our secretary. He runs a bookshop. He is also severe hemophiliac, all of them. On the right side, we have all our hemophiliac youth who help us in various organizational, various activities. Next. Yes, this is Saravanan, who also helps us in counseling. He also works in a corporate organization. Many of them have received educational aids from us. We give them scholarships, even up to college. This boy came to me really handicapped, couldn't walk, with a stick. But now, with rehabilitation and with our guidance, we have given him a sewing machine. He is a tailor by profession now. He is in one of the rural areas. This boy has done his B Pharm, and then he's just finished his B Pharm. We have given him scholarships so that he could study up to, because he is from again a poor family. He is studied up to B Pharm, and we expect him to get a job soon. This is another boy who has done his master's in engineering. He's got 3 brothers who are hemophiliacs. He is the eldest. He underwent bladder neck surgery because he was having retention. He underwent bladder neck surgery in Jipmer, and we had to give him lot of factor. Now he has completed his ME and is working somewhere. These are all our youth. I am very bothered about our failures. This is one thing I am very much upset. One is on the left side. We have got a boy who's joined medicine in Mahatma Gandhi Medical College. He didn't listen to us. He traveled in bikes all over and then developed a pseudo tumor in the leg. He was operated in Vellore at great cost because he was inhibitor positive. Later on, developed an intracranial bleed and died. He got into medicine by merit. On the left side, we have got a boy who had an accident because of his carelessness, because he had an accident and died recently, last year. Next. On the left side, I've got one of my earliest patients who developed an intra-abdominal bleed, recognized in spite of us telling, if you have an abdominal pain, come immediately. He thought he will come next day. He developed a massive intra-abdominal bleed and died. On the right side, I have a boy who had a bleed, was given factor. He took an overdose of tramadol and died of poisoning due to tramadol. Tramadol is a painkiller for them. This boy was a baker. He run his own bakery. Every birthday of mine, he will bring a cake for me. Suddenly, he committed suicide. We don't know why. So suicides are common. We don't understand, in spite of counseling, in spite of repeatedly telling them. And we have so many supports. Everybody counsels in our office, and we keep in touch with them, but still something happens. This is another boy who had a intra-abdominal pseudotumor, large tumor inside the abdomen, which burst and he died. Next. Yes. We do some fundraising. Voluntary, there are people, we are a voluntary organization. We do some fundraising. I myself contribute some money, but that's not enough. Some of our friends, some of the senior citizens regularly contribute for me. They give me some money every year. They give me some money, and this is one of them. The other side is my friend from Hyderabad, one of my close friends. They regularly contribute every year. They are all give me regular funds so that we can use it. We also do a lot of publicity. Now media become the publicity, so through FMs we talk, and then through newspapers we spread the message. Still it is not enough. Next. Yeah. We give family support. There's an organization in US called Save One Life. Through them we get some money for the family, so that they can enhance their income by whatever method they can. Some of them wanted cows, one of them wanted a shop, somebody wanted a sewing machine. We have been giving them, and they have been able to manage their children's education as well as coming to hospital and all, because it's expensive. Coming to hospital, taking treatment, everything is expensive. So we enhance their family income by family support. We have come a long way, but still we have a long path to cover. Will it materialize before these children grow up? To conclude, who am I that the Lord of all the earth would care to know my name, would care to feel my hurt? Who am I that the bright morning star would choose to light the way for my ever-wandering heart? Not because who I am, but because what you have done. Not because what I have done, but because of who you are. I am a flower quickly fading here and gone tomorrow. Lord, you catch me when I am falling. You watch me rise again. I am yours, who I am. You have done what I have done because of who you are. I am yours, I am yours. Whom shall I fear? Because I am yours. This is written by Mark Hall. Thank you. On time for all of you too.
Absolutely, madam. We have a little bit of interactive section. Okay, maybe we can take up a few questions. Few questions have been already posted to me. So they asked, who is your inspiration you felt for your life, madam?
I don't know. I just think. Nobody is my inspiration. I just thought at that time, I looked at the patients, probably empathy, because I have gone through a lot of suffering. Even now I have problems. Probably the suffering I underwent probably was one of the factors which made me decide, yes, we'll look after, because they have nobody to look up to.
And they also wanted to know, had there been failure for you, like apart from this, like when you were growing and before taking up hemophilia, before choosing that path, before focusing on that?
See, life is not all success. You have to fall many times before you get up and then climb the steps. I have had many failures. Not everything has been first. I didn't get medicine first time. I applied a second time and got medicine. Like that, I have had many failures in life, but I don't get... It hurts a little, but after some time you get used to it. So anytime, just before an exam I'll get very sick. It has happened like that. Just before exams, I have got very sick many times, found it difficult to study, but still I would do it. And I would never tell anybody my problems, because they all think if you're a doctor, that you are imagining things and you're a hypochondriac. So I never tell my problems to anybody. If anybody asks, I say I am fine. That's the attitude you should have.
The next is, who is the strength of your life? Or who was, who were?
My mother, when I was young, she was the one who was my strength all through. She was there, she lived for a long time. She was there for 87 years, she was there, she lived till I was in Jipma. After that only I took VRS, and after she died only, my mother was my great strength. Many of my colleagues know her very well.
Would you like to ask
Yes?
something?
Yeah.
Mike.
Yes?
Thank you very much, Professor Nalini. I've got two questions to ask.
Yeah.
What's your future plan?
Pardon?
What's your future plan for the growth of, for the cause of these hemophiliac activities?
There are many more things to be done. As long as I live, I try to do it as much as possible. But there are people, other people will take over from me. I have got people, young people, who can take over from me. I will do it. I'll just guide for them. I am a guide for them. I'll be a guide. Yeah. Future is to, because there are many new drugs which are coming in, so which has to be used. So my thing is to put them on trial somewhere. We try to do it as far as possible by connecting with people. So as long as possible, I'll go on like this.
Thank you. What's your message to our students?
Yeah. One is never give up. Whatever happens, everything is not easy at all. See, you people get so upset. One small thing happens because we are not used to failures. We have all come the way our parents have really sacrificed for us. So one small thing happens, it upsets us. No, never give up. You fall to rise once again. That is what should be even if you face once, you will come up again. So never give up. Have sympathy for patients. Don't think they are just experimental animals or something like that. They are also like one of us. So think of that and look at the patients, because you're all going to become future doctors. Computer and Google is not enough. Looking at the laptop and Google is not enough. You have to have human interaction, which is gradually coming down among doctors. So I think human interaction is most important.
So would you like to ask any question? Any question from the audience, students? Students, we have students from medical, dental, as well as allied
Fine.
science. Yeah.
Everybody, all are students only. I get invigorated looking at students. I also become a student when I see them.
So we'll take up questions from students. Anyone have any query? You just raise your hand and then we'll pass on the mic. I think everyone is overwhelmed.
I want one thing. I want Dr. T.K. Datta to come on the stage, please. Please.
Please, sir, please. With a round of applause.
He is one of me. Without him, I wouldn't have done anything. Please come, Dr. Datta. Yeah, please. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to achieve this much. I can tell you, we were together. Whatever we did, we have done together. So that is why I said I dedicated to him.
Without her, I couldn't have done anything on hemophilia. We did many new things. Many new things. Madam told in passing, but you will not realize. Starting factor VIII prophylaxis made a lot of difference to our patients. They were prevented from getting injured and knee bleed and knee deformity, which the pictures you saw these days has significantly come down because of the factor VIII prophylaxis. She initiated it, but I was working for it. And then we published the work in international journals also. The newest thing which she had started, but she didn't mention, is the gene therapy. That's with the help of CMC Vellore.
No, I have not talked about the medical aspect at all.
Of course.
I talked only the social aspect. The students are all there.
Obviously, I'm just educating you on how the things are going. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this juncture, sir, one second, sir. Since Madam has called you, we would like to honor. May I request Madam to offer you a bouquet in the honor of working together. In the presence of Vice Chancellor and the Dean. Madam, please. Sir, please come. This way. Here, in the center. In the center. Thank you very much, sir. Any question from the faculty side? Because we are at the verge of end of this program. Any question from this side? I think they are overwhelmed by your talk, and then they are overwhelmed by your personality. All right. Yes. Okay, so if there is no question, then thank you very much, madam, for being here with us, for finding your time, and like we are really honored that you have graced this occasion, this 4th episode of SBV Knowledge Tree. We thank our Honorable Chancellor for providing us with all support that we do in this campus, and of course a visionary and leader, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija, for whom this program is. We are just instrumental. He is just instrumental, and we just work forward for him. And our Dean, who is the chairman, and then he is always supportive. My co-secretary in this committee, Mrs. Asha Suresh Babu, who is also a general manager admin, is a source for all resources, who is also here. Thank you very much, madam. All the senior professors, medical superintendent, heads of all the other institutions, and faculty members, and my dear students. Thank you very much for joining us. At the end of the day, we would like to honor our guest with a memento to remember us and to remember this episode. This episode is going to get live. It's already live in YouTube, and it is going to be there forever. Thank you very much for being here with us in SBVU. May I request our Vice Chancellor to do the honor. May I request all the SBV Knowledge Tree committee members, madam, to come on the dais, madam, please. Sir, all the committee members, please, madam. Please come, sir. Thank you very much, madam. It's been a memorable day. I request all of you to disperse by having high tea served outside.